Hey, it's just Call Me Jenna Cole, and I haven't done this in a long while, so I'm a little rusty dusty. But I just want to come to you guys because there's been a lot of things that I've been going and doing in the background, and I got approached by a couple of different people who were like, okay, when are you going to bring the podcast back? One. Two, would you care to join our team and be a podcaster with us? So, y'all know girl is not going to leave her coins. But that ain't what I'm here for. What I am here for is because I just want to reintroduce myself. I know that if you have been following me for a while, you know who Jay Nicole is. You know what I'm all about. But just in case you didn't, I'm very transparent. I speak about every and anything that you can think of, but I always want to leave you inspired. I always want to leave you better than when you came and start listening to, if not the entire podcast history, but at least my podcast. So let's just jump right into it. Here lately, I have been working very diligent at checking off those things that bother me. And it's not in like one of those petty ways, but the whole thing is that a lot of us, we hold on to the very things that irritate us, the very things that are we feel are keeping us boggled down, the very things that are keeping us bolted down and not able to go and achieve the things that we want to achieve in life. And why? Why are we doing that? Why are we stuck in this rut? Why are we stuck in this mundane state of living? It's because we're complacent. Can we touch our neighbors and say, hey, neighbors, I'm complacent? Well, I want you to know that this is not the time, nor the year, nor the day, or the month for you to feel like complacency is something that you need to continue in your life. You need to get up. And there is a Bible verse. I'm not a Bible thumper, so I can't tell you exactly where it is. I call myself a baby Christian because I love the Lord. And I would like to know more of what the Bible says to the point that I can like quote it like that, but I'm not wired that way. However, I do know that there is something in the Bible that says take up your bed, I think is actually what it says. So take up your bed, meaning like don't stay in that place. That place that you're currently in, it represents death. It represents a lack of growth. It's a lack of development. And in order for even grass to grow, it has to be exposed, okay? And what if you're not into gardening, if you are not into just yard work, when people seed their yard, they aerate it, they punch holes in it, right? So that proper airflow can get into it. And then they make sure that the seed, they overseed because they realize that some of the weather can actually blow away or wash away or even dry out some of the seeds. I know somebody didn't catch that, okay? I'm gonna even put that on just like a little tidbit for you guys on the IG. But for real, when they do this, they overseed because they know that the weather is going to wash away, dry out, freeze up. It's going to do something. And so not all of those seeds will grow. They also know that if you cover it up and you keep it covered for a long time, I need you to hear that. If you keep it covered for a long time, what will happen is that nothing will be exposed to it that helps it to grow. There won't be any sunlight that gets to it, a proper amount of oxygen to get to it, a proper amount of sun, water, whatever it needs to grow. What will end up happening is that we end up, I flipped it right, talking about the seeds, now I'm talking about you. We end up in the shade, like those overgrown parts of the grass. They're over the bushes is growing on top of it. Maybe you even have like a tarp over it, something like a wheelbarrow, any kind of blockage. You have all that over what you keep sowing seeds. So you have all these seeds there and they're like, I want to grow. But you become complacent like this. Like it's sort of it's sort of comfy in this here shaded area. So I'm going to stay here. You become complacent. Okay? And by becoming complacent, you have created a graveyard for all the seeds that not just you have sown into yourself, but what others have sown into you. And then you look around and you're like, why has my life not changed? It's because when the things that you did not like, the things that did not do good for you, instead of you saying, okay, I got to break up with this, I need to remove myself from that, I need to take away those things, I need to expose myself a little bit more, you was like, well, I really hate that I'm in the shade, but nobody's moving it for me, or I don't know what else to do, so I might as well just stay here. And that is complacency. So I'm telling you to take up your bed. Take up your bed. Go and lift whatever that shade is that has you covered and will not allow growth in your life. Take it up. Today I had to have a heart-to-heart talk with one of my APs, okay? She grades me on my work performance. And I'm always walking around like, oh God, did I do well? Did I do well? She comes in and she does my appraisal. And I'm like, oh God, did I say the right things? Because I'm a non-traditional teacher. And I might say some stuff that I'm a mama, is what I tell people. I'm a mama before I'm a teacher. So I talk to everybody's kids like they're my kids, with the exception of some, what we call them, some fancy words. We'll say that much, okay? But I always walk around like, okay, did I do what I needed to do? And I never approach her and say, hey, what are some areas that I can improve on? So me, I don't know anyone, honestly, who likes criticism, who likes to be criticized. But I say, you know what? I'm going to pull that scab off. I'm going to let some air hit it because it's not healing properly. Let me doctor on it. Not to say that I'm doing a horrible job, but again, where I currently am in my job, that's not where I seek to stay. And I wanted to know, if I desire to go further, what is some feedback that you can give me? And so I reached out and I requested a quick little chat. That's all I asked. I said, quick little chat. Can I bother you for a quick little chat? And she enlightened me on some things. She was like, you do great. If you're talking about leadership, this is some things that I would actually, suggest for you. Not the areas of improvement, but things that you can add that you can become more well versed in. Because I'm a newbie when it comes to education, under 10 years, and there's always room for change. In my short time that I've been there, the 7 years, I call it 7-year itch because I'm itching to do something different. But in my 7 years of being in education, I have taught three different grade levels in middle school and 3 different grade levels in elementary school. Did you count that? That's 6 grade levels in 7 years, okay? And with that being said, I knew that, okay, yeah, I could teach elementary and I can teach middle school, but I've never been in that leadership role. So what's some feedback that I would like to get? I could have easily said, you know what? Ugh. Let me see what this calendar over here look like if you go into leadership. Oh, those are too many days and I won't have my whole summer. I'm good saying right here where I have my whole summer. I could. Complacency. I could have said, you know what? That means I'm going to have to manage people, and Lord knows I really want to be people in people right now. That's complacency. But instead, I said, you know what? In order for me to grow, I need to actually go out on a limb and say, hey, I do desire a leadership role eventually. What is some feedback? What are some little nuggets? What is something that you, a seed, can sow into me so that I can begin working on those things in preparation for what I plan to do in my future. Another thing that I want to talk to you all about is in the midst of us being complacent, part of our complacency comes with us wanting to seek approval or have someone to come along on our journey with us. We don't want to be alone. We do not want to be home alone defending ourselves. We're like, if you go with me, or if I have your support, or if I have your prayer or approval, then I will be more enlightened to do something. I will be more likely to pursue X, Y, and Z. Some parts of your journey are not meant to be met with a tag along. You don't need someone else coming in with you. You don't need someone to approve of what you have to do. And I actually put this on a post on IG. Go there, holler at your girl. Just call me J. Nicole. I spoke this and said, sometimes the reason why we can't go somewhere in life is because we're waiting for all that stuff that I just mentioned. But God is saying, I have the roadmap. I'm handing you the keys to the car that you're going to drive to get there. And guess what? You won't even have to stop to go to the bathroom because I got you covered. You won't have to stop to get food. I got that covered too. I got the gas. Just get in the car. No, I know you said you want to wait for your mama. No, your mama's not meant to go on this journey. Oh, I know that you want this teacher or this person to approve of you. Maybe even your husband. This is not their journey. This is yours. And a lot of us, because we're waiting on those said people, we end up repeating the lesson over and over again because we're complacent. We're like, well, I wanted to go back to school, but my best friend said that we're going to do it together and I just need to give her like 2 more years because she just had a baby. Or my husband and I said we're going to get our credit together so we can buy another house, but I just need for him to get this other job, or I need to get this other job so that we have more stable income. And we're complacent. And complacency, a lot of people think, is that you're just refusing to do something. A lot of complacency is you're sitting and you are waiting on something or someone. Why? Why are you sitting? Why are you waiting? Why are you just sitting and waiting and sitting and waiting when all that you need to do and get and be has already been given to you? It's already available to you. The other part of complacency is that we need to learn to get to a quiet space, a quiet place. Because if you're like me, when you go to lie down in that bed, when you're supposed to be relaxing, it's almost like your head starts doing instant replays. Everything that has happened that day and everything that you need to do the next day, even a conversation, if you got into a I get tickled to think about this, but you were in an argument with somebody, or you were having a conversation with somebody, we're gonna just say that, and you was like, dang, I didn't come up with a quick-witted response just then, but at 3 a.m., 5 days later, you're like, I should have said that. I'm that person, and I get it. I get that you cannot find that quietness in your own mental to be able to sometimes listen to God. But I'm here to tell you, because I'm challenged with this. I told y'all this is a transparent platform for me, but I am currently on an anti-anxiety medication. I am also on a sleeping medication because your girl be wired. I've tried the whole don't do any screen time like the last hour before you go to bed. I've tried going to have my spa nights, and I finally, my husband and I bought a home, and it has my jacuzzi tub back in it. We had a home previously with that, and when we moved, we had to give up that luxury, and because we wanted to be in a particular area, and now we're back and still in the same area and have acquired the same things that we needed. Everybody say, it ain't in your time, it's in God's time, okay? But all that to say, I've had the opportunities to go and get into my jacuzzi tub, and my son's girlfriend brought me some really great um, Dr. Teal's lavender bubbles to go in there, and some body scrub with lavender. So I'm overloaded with lavender to help me just decompress and relax. And I can get in there, and I'm putting the water as hot as I can stand it. And I'm relaxing, listen to my little smooth music with my candles lit, have a whole vibe. Get out, moisturize up, get in the bed, and just like that, my brain was like, all that stuff you put on the shelf while you was in that tub, guess what? We're back. I'm serious, guys. Very serious. Extremely serious. You have to learn how to decompress. And I speak because I live it. So in order for me to start ticking off those things, and I'm like, these are really getting on my nerve. One of the things that gets on my nerve is that I can't sleep. And I'm filled with energy during the day. And I'm like, I know when I get home, baby, me in this bed, we're going to be the BF and the F. We're going to be bosom buddies. We're going to enjoy each other. And then I get there and my bed be like, I know you're not even gonna come over here and talk to me. I don't even know why you're looking at me. Go on back downstairs and sit on the sofa. That's who you really love. Seriously. And instead of me learning to decompress and everything, I was just sitting up there, TV watching, eating. Started gaining weight too, y'all. So one of the things that I wanted to tick off was not being able to sleep. So the first step was just getting some professional help with that. I went to my doctor and said, this is what's going on with me. Help, sister, help. And she gave me that. And it's been working. The other thing is about being able to get to a point where you can be quiet. I decided that, okay, well, I don't know nothing about yoga, but I used to cheer. I used to do gymnastics. I used to dance. And we always had to stretch and prepare ourselves before our performance, right? So I decided that I would start doing some stretches before I got in the bed. Stretch myself out, and I will focus on my breathing. A lot of what I'm doing is yoga, and I just don't know it. Talking to my niece about it and some other people. But I do stretches. And then I added something else because I'm like an onion. Like they say in Shrek, I got layers. Not only do I not sleep well, I'm a poor time management kind of person. Not that it affects my job with me doing my job, but I'm late getting to work almost every day. And I work without traffic 7 to 10 minutes, with traffic 15. Okay? So there's no reason for me to be late. But your girl be late. So I start to affirm myself that you are capable of being on time. You will be on time. Those kinds of things. And as I'm saying that just over and over to myself, I realize I become in like a trance. I really do. I become very centered is what I'm going to call it. I was going to say focused, but it's still the same thing. I become very centered in what it is that I'm saying to myself. Like I'm having like an outer body experience and I'm listening to myself, right? And while I'm listening to myself, I'm not thinking about all the other stuff. And when I'm finished stretching, I get into the bed. And I used to listen to the TV at night. But I was like, ooh, my body was like, oh, you remember this episode in the middle of my sleep? I'm like, are you serious? You heard this? We were supposed to be sleeping. How you catch that part of the episode we knocked out? So now I listen to either rainfall, I listen to rainforests, spa music sometimes, anything that will zen me out, zone me out. And it becomes in such a way that I'm able to sleep better. And if you keep hearing my chime in the background, my phone is just going crazy because I won't answer it. But I'm sleeping better. I am also doing one other thing because I talked to you guys about time and the things that you have to pull off, and in order for all those seeds that you've sown to be the things that you've planted, right? I know I want to be better with time management. I know that I want to lose weight. I know that I want to be able to sleep. So I've had to start going to sleep earlier. That's one thing. After I do my stretches, I do nothing else. I get into bed. But before I do my stretches, I make sure that I've picked out at least 2 outfits, at least 4 pairs of earrings, and a pair of shoes. And all of that is because those are the things that keep me boggled down when I'm trying to get out of the house at a particular time. And I'm always like, oh my God, okay, okay, oh, I want to wear those shoes. Wear those shoes. Okay, I remember I had this pair of shoes. Wear those shoes now because I'm in a new house. I got to figure out where all my stuff still is. But I do prep work at night to ensure that in the morning time it's grab and go. Seriously, grab and go. All of this to say that if I stayed in my area, in my space of complacency, I would have never tried to develop these habits. I would have never broken the routines that I had so that I could make the necessary changes to get out of that space of complacency. I could have lived there unhappily, happily ever after. But I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there in my personal life. And I know y'all said, okay, Jay Nicole, you skip right on over the weight loss. I also take my lunch to school. I don't wait on to see what they have at lunch. Be like, oh well, I ain't bring nothing, so I'm gonna starve because starvation will just make you get bigger if you do it the way that I was doing it. So I prepare my meals. I make sure that I take some snacks so that I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so starved, and I run to the vending machine or get something inappropriate. I make sure that I have the things that I need to fuel me so that this weight that I've gained may find another place to live, right? But all of this again would have never happened if I was okay with being complacent where I am, complacent in the weight that I've gained, complacent in the profession that I'm at the level of my professional career. If I was okay with being exhausted uh, all day long, but having, be hyped, but be tired. I'm not understanding why I'm functioning the way that I am, and never open up my mouth to talk to my doctor about it. Never open up my mouth to talk to my supervisor about it to say, hey, look, this is what I'm seeking, or hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Can you help? You can't do everything by yourself. But on your journey to be what you want to be, those seeds that you've sown, the things that people have sown into you, sometimes you need help getting started. But there are going to be sometimes you have to do the work by yourself. You're not going to have to wait on mama's permission. You're not going to have to wait on daddy's approval. You're not going to have to wait for your exercise buddy to really get her butt in gear and really exercise. You're going to have to say, I'm going to exercise with or without her. You're going to have to do it. So what I'm Jay Nicole saying, like Nike, just do it. Stop being complacent where you are. If you've made, like I have, I hate to call it a vision board. People call it a vision board. It can be that. I call it my prayer wall. These are things that I'm prayerful over. These are things that I'm prayerful for. If you have things that you seek to achieve, to be, to fulfill, go ahead and start working on that. You don't have to wait Those things are going to continue to be on that board, on that wall, in that closet, in the journal, wherever it is, until you take action. And you don't need anyone to tell you how to get started. You may need someone to help you get started or to even show you the road that you need to take. But all of what needs to be accomplished is within you, whether you make the connections that need to be connected or you simply just go to God in prayer and say, hey, Lord, this your girl. And talk to him like he the homie. I'm going to be honest. I talk to him like he is the homie. I'm like, Lord, it's me again. Yep, I'm about to bother you. I know you told me one time I was being hard-headed. I was not listening and paying attention like I accused my students of. But I'm ready now, Lord, because I'm tired of this. And I know in order to make change, I have to be the person to make that change. So I'm asking you, Lord, now to give me the strength to, one, hear you clearly of what I need to do. And then two, to adhere to what you're telling me to do. And then three, to not only adhere to it, but continue to do it to completion. May sound like a weird prayer to you. It's my prayer. I offer it to you. But don't stay in your complacent place. Break out. Let all those seeds that you've overseeded in yourself and other people have overseeded in you be exposed to the elements that need to be exposed to so that your end product is something that grows and is so beautiful. It makes you happy. It's something that you need for you and you didn't know that you needed for you. But when you get it, it's like nothing else that you've experienced. And it also makes God happy to see you fulfill your destiny, fulfill your purpose. So stop stopping and just go, do, and be. Y'all be blessed. Thank you so much for coming back and listening to me time and time again. I could never, ever do this without any of you guys. I'm going to try to do better with my content. I have gone on a hiatus for some time, but I'm back. Welcome back. Y'all stay blessed.